Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, and in this video I want you to join me for an epic adventure-filled week with off-roading and YouTube legends at Matt's Off-Road Games 2025 in Southern Utah. We get to see Laura Farms with Katelynn and Lizzie, legends from the Matt's Off-Road Recovery channel, on the girls team slaying the trails with the Tangerine. Rich rebuilds along with Robby Layton and his crew almost got kicked out over violating the Jalopy rules. Rory tripped his Land Rover. Should have gone with a Land Cruiser in my opinion. Even Murphy Diesel's Hellboy and Heavy D's 1,000 horsepower Jeep Gladiator made an appearance. Oh yeah, and there was a Cyber Jeep competing for the winning prize. I even got to explore the Sand Hollow Mountain in Southern Utah in ways I didn't think was possible. All right, good morning, good morning. It is 7:57 a.m. Got the car packed up. Going to go grab a quick breakfast and head on over to Matt's Off-Road Recovery day one. Okay, so made it in to the vendor area. Let's take a look at what we got. Man, the food is sick. I'm glad I'm not fasting today. Look at this, Big Daddy's barbecue. All these food vendors, it would have been difficult to fast out here. Well, we're gonna take full advantage of it. Gonna do some hot chocolate, and then look at this, man. This is what Utah's all about. So that's the trail right there. You have people ready to spectate on both sides, and it goes pretty far up, so I'm trying to find the best spot to monitor. I checked with Robby Layton about riding along, and they said that they're not doing that because of liability reasons. So maybe for next year we'll try to reach out ahead of time, see if we can connect with somebody, or maybe even compete if I can get some time in though. That'd be interesting. These trails look pretty gnarly. It looks like they're marked like snowboard trails, green, blue, black, and I think obviously the ones they're doing are the extreme difficulty ones. It looks quite technical, and we'll get to see it all today. So as we look at some of these Jeeps and rigs coming up the trails, let me tell you a little bit about the setup and the rules of the competition. We just saw Laura Farms with Kate and Lizzie coming up with the Tangerine. So these are Jalopys. This is the Jalopy competition. Jalopy, for those of you that don't know, is just like a way to call a beat down car. And the rules were that you can only spend about, as you see, the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cyber Jeep by Peck Brothers coming up through these obstacles. So the rules were set up to be that you can't spend more than $5,000. I believe that was the like sort of monetary value on the Jeeps. Another rule kind of was that on the first day, there's not going to be any shocks on them. And we have the mini Jeep coming through here. The other rule that they also asked for is that to run only 33-inch tires. Now, some of these Jeeps are running 35s and larger tires. And then we're going to see Colt builds it coming now, I believe, in his Land Rover. So these rules are designed to kind of make these already difficult trail, this is nasty half the trail that they're coming up, a bit more challenging. This trail is rated 9 out of 10. And you'll see now as Colt builds it comes through in the Land Rover, that even though Land Rover is quite a capable vehicle, but with 33-inch tires, without shocks, as Colt's driving that through with Chris from No Nonsense. Check out these YouTube channels of these individuals, by the way. They're great content. You start to see some of the difficulty levels, and as we go through the trail, you'll see that difficulty level increase. We also have Rudy's Adventure. Rudy is Matt's oldest son from Matt's Off-Road Recovery, so that's Rudy's Adventure team right behind. And here we have actually one of my favorite YouTubers, Rich Rebuilds, driving Robby Layton's Jeep. Now, Robby has a body shop, so he always makes them look nice because he can just paint them. But those tires are definitely not regulation, not Jalopy regulation. Those are 42s. And what's funny is that his Jeep ended up breaking because, I mean, how are you going to lose the competition with 42-inch tires and the rules say 33-inch tires? But as it goes with Robby Layton, he's got a hilarious channel. You guys should check it out. You know, it's the Robby Layton way, and something broke, as it always does. He's got a great video where he brought a limo on tracks, actually, and he took it to the sand dunes. There's Rich Rebuilds right there, kind of. He went on some really gnarly obstacles, and we have a really interesting scene coming up where the Jeep almost flips over.
We've got Rudy's Adventure, whatever we're calling that wedge thing that he's created. And yeah, the whole experience really opened my eyes to rock crawling. And as we're seeing some of this footage come through from Matt's angles, because from the angles that I was on, you couldn't always capture a view easily. So I've also documented on Onyx that if you are facing the east side, you get a bit of a better view if they run the same trails next time. So that's also interesting. And you can drive your car up if you are bringing an off-road capable vehicle with high clearance, ideally with four-wheel drive, and even better if it has lockers. You air down, you can drive yourself up pretty far, and you can bring your cool drink with you. You have a place to sit, bring some camping chairs, and have a really good time. This obstacle is really gnarly. When you're looking at it in person, it looks like a vertical wall. And as we see the Cyber Jeep scaling this, it was like, I was thoroughly confused as to how a car can make it up this. It would be hard for me in my hiking shoes with grabbing. It almost feels like rock climbing up this kind of rock. But as you'll see in a second, on the third try or the fourth try or whatever number try up, the Cyber Jeep is going to go up with some oomph. And just as the rear tire catches right there, it makes it through. But then you think you're done with the scariest part. All the way on the other side is where it gets gnarlier. And this is, if you see in a second, you'll see Rich Rebels coming down a Robby Layton's Jeep in a second too, because you almost feel like you're coming down a vertical drop. I mean, look at that. The rear driver tire was in air off the ground. And we're going to see quite a few Jeeps coming through here. There's, of course, Rory bringing his mini Trailmater up the channel. Now, Rory has his own channel, Trailmater Off-Road Recovery out of Moab. You definitely want to check that out. And we're going to try to pull in footage from different areas. This time around, I was able to only get some limited footage from the angles that I was on. I'm hoping with some of my journey with off-road and overlanding content that I may have the opportunity to get invited as a competitor next year in off-road games. Maybe I'll get to build a Jalopy of my own with some folks and some help of some of their team members and YouTubers around, and that would be really, really cool to kind of get over. And here we'll see a tip, and they have fallen over. Now this was really interesting to see, because you'll see Cole builds in his Land Rover coming forward to try to kind of back into this vehicle that has just tipped over. I can't recall from this angle who this was, and as he attempted to do that, they had already corrected their own vehicle back on his four wheels. And just the crowd just loves seeing vehicles tip over and all the competitors pushing them to an edge. It was just a great time. And this track itself is called Nasty Half. It's rated 9 out of 10. As I mentioned, you can follow these ratings on Onyx itself, which is a great application to track these down. I do not recommend this as a novice trail. There's actually some really cool companies down in southern Utah around Hurricane that offer you these guided tours where you can rent their Jeeps and they can take you out and guide you through these trails. And so I recommend you checking those out. I'll be documenting my journeys down here this year. I've gotten a great deal with Mad Moose Rentals through their membership program. And there's Rich Rebuilds coming down. And some of this footage is from Robby Layton's channel. And Rich definitely almost tipped over. And man, like everybody was holding their breaths there, because that was what an extreme angle to come down, but they made it. And then there's a few other obstacles that come through that almost feel like a vertical wall, and you have to know the technique. Matt obviously lives in this area, does these trails a lot more. His team does these trails regularly, so they know exactly which line to follow to get up. And a lot of these lines are not intuitive, so you think you're trying to go the angle that doesn't look as extreme, but you end up going into a crack, end up going into a divot, and then you can't get out of it. And with Matt guiding some of the competitors and giving some tips, a lot of folks were just able to climb their way into the obstacles. Some needed help with winching and other support around, but it was incredible to see it in person, and something that I'm definitely planning to go through again. But yeah, let's watch some more of this footage and see, sort of all these vehicles kind of come through and make it over. I'll fast forward some of this for you here, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what the experience is like being there in person, seeing all these competitors, meeting with them, and learning about rock crawling. It really gave me an inspiration to kind of build a Jalopy of my own, because you definitely don't feel good taking like a car that you spend, you know, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 plus onto some of these rock crawling trails. But these cars, you know, you buy like a $2, $3, $4, $5,000 car, you know, you put up some upgrades, some lockers, a little bit larger tires, and then you can go take it up. And if it gets beat up, you've got roll cages, you've got sliders. You kind of use it as a crawler car that is not really designed for overlanding, off-roading. It's mainly a trailer car that you take to these amazing outdoor adventure areas and just enjoy them there. So yeah, I think I'll be exploring some of this. I never really thought I would enjoy rock crawling, but it definitely feels like it will bring you a certain kind of adrenaline rush and a sense of accomplishment that you don't really feel. I mean, look at this Tangerine coming through, almost like tipping over on that angle. More vertical cliffs. I mean, it's hard to describe when you're there, and especially when you're sitting inside. You like the angle that Laura was just at right before she scaled that specific cliff right there. All you see is the sky, and you are counting on your spotter or the fact that you've planned out your line before. And it's incredible to see that, and I can't wait to experience a lot of that myself. And in fact, I'm dropping some videos where I went out with a tour guide from Mammoose Rentals on side-by-sides that I rented, which are designed for a slightly different kind of rock crawling, and I explored those areas. And then I've asked my parents to come out and join me. Michelle was out in Seattle with her family for a baby shower, and I invited my parents down. They were nearby. It was a 3.5, 4 hour drive, and we went out and explored some of these regions and got my parents to do rock crawling for the first time. So those videos will be coming out soon as well for you guys to check out, and I'll be highlighting a lot more overlanding, off-roading, adventure content. I've obviously had the opportunity to travel to 33 countries with Michelle over the last couple of years, and it's been an awesome journey. We've done a self-drive safari in Africa on a wonderful Land Cruiser. So yeah, we're going to be highlighting all of that. So let's show you around what we've got over here.
I was out here, got some footage. The side I'm on is quite rocky, and there are some cars over here, but I noticed on the other side there's a lot of vehicles, as you can see. And if you have an off-road vehicle, it looks like you can go down. I don't have a flag, so I'm gonna try to see if I need to get that. If not, I'll just wing it and go up. Not recommended, but they're down. Gonna try to find my way up there, see if we can get some better views for the rest of this. They're gonna start getting into the harder obstacles, so it's gonna take some time for all the cars to get through. So that's the plan. Gonna get some water refilled as well. I'm glad I didn't fast today, because it's quite a bit of hiking through this kind of terrain. Okay, so made it back to the car. It's been extra warm, so I took off some layers. And now what we're gonna do, since we're taking the Land Cruiser onto the dunes basically to go up to get better views, we need to air down all 4 tires and add a flag. I've already added the flag that is needed when you're going off-road. So I didn't have a proper mount for it, so I've zip tied it. So now I'm going to be airing down the tires. Okay, so got some food, got a little ice cream, water, going through a tunnel. There's our first climb. No kidding, look at that. Woo-hoo. That was great. Did it like it was nothing. Driving through the sand, baby. Got an air filter under that thing because he is sucking in some sand. Rollover has a commanding lead. Looks like he's moving down. Woo!
BleepinJeep taking the inside line. Tag runners on the outside. Carrying some speed on that crazy cyber Jeep. Nice, Chris drops right in the middle here. BleepinJeep taking the inside again. Whoa! That was a close one.
Whoa.
You're trying to put your hand between them. BleepinJeep in the lead. Tag runners catching up. BleepinJeep taking that inside line again. Cutting the distance. Swing it wide. Keep going straight. Oh, that way, man, that way, man.
Alright, so day one of the event has been incredible. Day two of the trip. Got to see some gnarly obstacles being overcome and also took the Land Cruiser off-roading a little bit. Got some of that footage. I'm heading to O'Reilly Auto Parts to get refrigerant added to the Land Cruiser because I was talking to the guy that worked on it that the AC is not working as effectively and he thinks there might be a refrigerant leak that he's gonna tweak a little bit, but I'm gonna try to see if adding refrigerant will solve that problem in the meantime. And then we'll decide if we want to hit up some trails or prep for tomorrow, because tomorrow can be a nice full adventure day, and find out some interesting information about rental options and membership options at the local rental shops here for adventure vehicles, boats, dirt bikes, ATVs, jet skis, side-by-sides, so on and so forth. Okay, so I've stopped at a Maverick. I am going to fill the tires back up to 35 psi because it's not that hard to reduce air again. I am going to be doing some driving on the road, and I don't love the way the car drives at 18 psi. So with these machines, I'll show you in a second, but you pay, it's turned on for a certain amount of time, and then you simply attach the hose and it will start filling it up. This will take a minute, so we will sit here. Let's do this one. Yeah, you see, it just ran out. The time ran out. So I'll go pay for this again. For those of you that have not used a tire pressure machine before, pretty straightforward. Can just use my Apple Pay, swipe that, it says approved, and now it'll start going at the pressure that is set to. So I may have to pay for a tire at a time, that's all right. All right, it took like 20 minutes. Definitely need to figure out an air compressor situation. I've got all 4 tires filled up, and now it's time to be onward for the journey. Oh yeah, feels much different to drive now. That's what it's like to inflate and deflate tires to control the tire pressure. So overall, pretty good day. Day 2, got to show you guys some of the things you have to do to take care of the car, some things you have to do to go off-roading. Now I'm gonna just get some gas, get ready for tomorrow, head on back to the hotel, get some work done. I'll be finding some off-road courses perhaps to explore tomorrow too. So that'll be a fun item to look forward to for tomorrow. See you guys along on the journey. Good morning. So we are ready for day 3 of the trip, day 2 of the event, locked and loaded, heading over to the event now. Today there's going to be, I believe the wreckers are going to be towing up the Jalopys that people have built up. The competition rules were different teams had about $5,000 to build up their version of Jalopy to take on the nasty half, which is a black rated trail, meaning one of the most difficult trails around. The ratings are similar to snowboarding and skiing slopes, with trail ratings ranging from, I believe it's green, blue, and black. So we saw the Jalopies go up yesterday, and today we're going to see the wreckers going up. The interesting thing to look forward to today is that I've mapped out a few trails that we can try with good old Bernard here with the Land Cruiser. And so we might be hitting some trails a little bit later, and now that I have a better lay of the land, you know, I did enjoy the exercise of hiking a couple of miles up and down, but it definitely was not efficient. It took quite a bit of time to just get to and from places. So as we get into the park, as you noticed yesterday, I did air down and air up. The process took about 40 minutes, 20 to air down and 20 to air up. Airing down was probably a little bit quicker, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. And Matt talked about this in his one of his videos, that if you're out here for a couple of days, instead of taking the highway, take the local roads, and just when you air down to between 15 to 18 psi, don't go through that air down, air up cycle. Just drive a little bit slower, and it will save you 40 minutes every day, unless you just feel like spending that, because it does make a difference on road driving, but it is manageable. So today when I air down, I'm going to plan not to air back up until we're done with the trip, and I'll just stay off the highways. And if I hit the highway and need to hit up high speeds, then I'll spend the 20 minutes air up at a local gas station. They do sell, there's a product by ARB that is an ARB air compressor that you can install. They have portable ones you can also install in your car, and you have an app and you connect all 4 tires at the same time and just hit the app to like have it go to the air temperature desired. And I have heard that those can fill up your car in 5 minutes. I want to see that in action before I believe it. It is kind of believable, depending on, you know, the fact that if all 4 can be filled up concurrently and there's enough air pressure. So that would be sick. Then you can air down, air up as you wish. And airing down, why is that important? Some of you might be wondering, if you're not familiar with off-roading, improves the ride quality by a ton when you're going off-road on dirt roads, washboard, because it gives more, there's more give in the tire. So a lot of off-road tires, unlike show cars that are on-road, you'll notice that their sidewall for their tire, it looks a lot thicker than these on-road performance cars where the tire sidewall is as thin as possible. It has different purposes. The reason you typically pick up thicker sidewall, more sidewall area, and a smaller rim is because you want the ability for that tire to compress when you're off-road and to be able to have a larger footprint for traction. So ride comfort increases, traction increases. This is essential for sand. If you're in sand and you don't air down and you don't have a wider footprint, like, you're gonna get stuck, especially in this, you know, fine sand that we have out here in Sand Hollow specifically. I remember the first time I tried this on the Land Cruiser with the Stone deflators that I actually recently made a video about that you can check out as well, about how to use the Stone deflators. I'll probably do a more in-depth one reviewing them. I just made one really quickly showing how to use them. But with the Stone deflators specifically, when I first did it, man, it felt like I was driving on the highway off-road. That's how much of a difference it made. It was truly remarkable. So yeah, we're on our way. Let's head on over to Sand Hollow and then, you know, show you what day 3 has in store for us. Okay, so we've arrived at the Sand Hollow parking lot, and I've aired down. The whole process all in all took me 5 minutes in and out of the car. The first tire was deflated in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And now we are going to start our climb. We are going to go towards where everyone is right now, running about 18 psi on all tires. So this is the staging area. And then we'll follow this line, take a left, and we'll go through a tunnel that goes under the highway onto the left side where the Sand Hollow Mountain is, which is where they're doing all the obstacles right now. Going under the tunnel, under the highway, onto the Sand Mountain side. There's a pretty fun obstacle right at the beginning over here, as you will see here in a second. You're basically seeing sky. We'll get to see some of these cars going through it first, I guess. There we go. Obstacle 1 conquered, and now it's just a matter of following these folks to the best route up. You have to be a little careful because you need momentum through the sand, and then you end up on this rocky terrain, and you don't want to wreck your shocks. They're not designed like these smaller and lighter weight side by sides. So you have to respect it, slow down appropriately, and then as you get into the sand, pick that momentum back up to keep it going like this. We're getting to the right spot. Yesterday it took a long time to get to this area, and today with a lot less effort and just off-roading in Bernard, we're able to get pretty far along. Just to show you how bouncy it is on the inside. Looks like there's some parking spots here. I'm gonna try to see if I can scoop one. Oh yeah, look, we caught up to the activity. So a little bit of off-roading. Let's go check out what's going on over there. So the Land Rover rolled over trying to climb a rock.
Right there. Go ahead, you.
So they're rolling that back up, and it's woo! So it looks like they're winching it up a little, and it's actually going to go up that route. Wow. Whoa! Incredible.
Here comes Mini Mater right here. Oh yeah, buddy. Been wiki doing it. Now Mini Mater's kind of double purpose in here.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Wow. All right, okay. That one should win just for that. That is awesome. Is that what the first one did too? Or? Oh, wow.
They just flew right up. Like, oh, that's easy.
They know the lines. I think that makes a big difference, knowing like which line to take.
Yeah, they live 2 minutes away.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's Max.
Yeah, it helps.
Just lives right over there.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we just saw some awesome obstacles, some really a rollover, a bunch of winching, and now we are going to head down the mountain in the sand to get some food, rest up, and then come back for the second half when they're going to start that. There's a Hummer going in front of us, and you can tell the amount of incline right here. It's pretty gnarly. Got the center differential lock. Going downhill is a lot easier than coming uphill in here because I can just keep momentum easily, especially this spot. We can see this gentleman is stuck here, so this is the spot where I was talking about when I was coming up. You want to keep momentum and not get in a position where you're stopping in deep, fine sand, hollow sand. But at 18 psi and with the amount of power we've got, some bumps, watch out for the bumps. Again, we talked about this coming up, a mix of sand and rocks. So you're trying to keep your momentum, all of a sudden you come up on rocks and you want to slow down there so you don't mess up your axle. And all of the other parts of the vehicle don't get that unnecessary wear and tear. But good old Bernard does pretty well out here. He's definitely got the muscle, and we've got pretty decent grip with these tires. We'll just follow our way out of here, nice and safe. There's another Hummer coming, lots of Hummers out here. Hummer H1, look at that Hummer go. And now we have rocky terrain. Here we go. Woo! Not gonna lie, it is fun driving in the sand. It's a entirely different experience than any kind of dirt-based off-roading. Much like motorcycling, you have to plan your line ahead of time because it will be too late to do anything if you end up in a situation where you don't, like this is deep sand, so I need to plan ahead to keep momentum here. I can't go in slow and then realize that I should have kept momentum. And then here's rocks again. If I gun it, the car is gonna pay for it, and inherently then I'm gonna be paying for it with something broken in the car. So a good mix of terrain going from sand to rocks, rocks to sand, really sharpens your skills. And if you put some milk and banana in your belly, makes a good milkshake. I gotta lay in the corny jokes every once in a while. You guys watch more of my videos, especially as they're recreational, you'll realize you'll get to see quite a bit of those. So the gentleman there was pointing out that this has been turned into a one-way road, so I need to turn. So they've started the figure eight promenades right here. That's what we're seeing.
All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! All right, we got both fenders off there. Looking like the Bronco got the slight advantage, but I need to switch over to the Tangerine. Tangerine coming through the crossbird, way ahead of the Bronco. See what happens here. Hefe's got a lot more to lose than the Tangerine does. He's taking a wide berth.
Oh!
Oh man, it's close. And the winner goes to the Tangerine.
Woo!
All right, 1, go.
Woo! Let's go!
What's going on here?
They're messing it up.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Trailblazer has lost the feed.
What's going on with Fab?
Oh no. Fab rats have had some other malady. We're not sure. They're still moving, but
It looks like he's lost his rear drive. Oh,
What's happening here?
literally.
Woo!
All right.
entering into the lane, going around the jump, maintaining that speed. Hello, Suzuki base wrecker, coming up a close second. On that company. Now it's
Oh, I guess it's
now
it's
close.
Henry at the
Going
wheel.
together. All right, home stretch.
Woo!
All right, it's the big reverse.
2 BSF Jeeps. BSF record and BSF Jeep.
He's going wide to lead the speed. That big heavy truck. He's bringing it wide, trying to dig. Coming out, baby J. Walk over to head on. All right, let's try to keep that cab on it still.
Oh!
I think all of them are making their own path. What is that? On the right. Murphy Diesel versus Murphy Diesel. 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa!
Three wheels there. Using that rear gear. Going wide. I don't know if that thing quite had a turning radius. We're just making it up as we go now.
Woo!
He's going wide. Cowboy on the inside. Cutting him off. That is some strategy right there, y'all. Tearing it out over the woods. Those are 10 of the biggest tires I've seen all day. Everybody else. Use those big tires. Caterpillar lost an engine cover.
All right, everybody, count with me now. 3, 2,
1,
go!
go!
Taking the inside line. Back across. One more pass. Come on, go.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo! We have a winner in front. It's a tag. Well done,
Couple updates. So I just picked up the Easy Flate inflation and deflation kit. That will help inflate the tires instead of 20 minutes that it took last time in just a matter of 6 to 7 minutes. And the deflation process is a lot quicker too. So I'll be covering that in a bit. And we have a rollover
personally attack you right here.
right there.
I feel like you should have drawn
In the promenade of 8, we finally had a rollover. It was epic. And the wreckers are lifting it back up now. All right, so the activities of the event that are planned for day 1 are over. Now it's time to go exploring, and I have something exciting and surprise for you guys. I have actually managed to get a hold of a UTV rental, a side-by-side rental, 2-seater that I'm going to be picking up in a few hours here. In roughly about 2 hours I need to be there, 2 hours and 50 minutes I need to be there for check-in, and then I'll have that for some time. Might extend it throughout the trip that's here, and we're going to be exploring some trails. I'm taking a second to go to a gas station, grab some Gatorades, refresh. I've already had food. Maybe look at some snack options, and maybe hit the water or something as well, just to refresh a little before the next part of the tour. So that's what we're going to do. Before we get over there, we got to traverse some sand for a bit. Running 18 psi right now, so we should have no problem getting out of this quite deep and soft sand right over here. A bit of a traffic. Okay, so everybody's going left. I am going to take the other route out of here. While I have the tires deflated, why not take advantage of the situation and bypass all the traffic, driving on the beachy sand. After getting some refreshments, I might come back here to the beach and just hang out and be easy. Look at this lady dancing it up. Okay, so we are starting our side-by-side adventure. These are what are called side-by-sides. So let's take a look at it. This is a Polaris Razor XP 1000, and we've got the thing hooked up. Items in there are secure, and just gonna do some final checks and hit the dunes on this thing and have some fun. You guys are joining along for the ride. All right, so we're gonna do some donuts. Now we are gonna go up pretty steep hill right there. I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride, see how it goes. There we go. Woo! Get the sky there, boys. And here we go. Pretty gnarly, pretty fun. And down we go. Holy shit, that is steep. Okay, we gotta get up that hill. Gonna use momentum, here we go. Easy. Ladies and gentlemen, look at these views. What a great time. Look at this to the right, look at this to the left, look what's in front of me. I mean, it is serene. Look at these guys go. In the words of Adam Reman, mate wants it. He's hungry. Stirring the pot. Adam Reman is hilarious. All I can say is the Brown Cowboys content is not to Adam Reman's level yet. We'll get there. You guys keep hanging out with me. I'll keep getting better. Showed you some donuts on the sand. We'll show you some better donuts on the sand next time, and maybe some in the water with some jet skis. And not just for entertainment, but I can give you guys information. I've got a sick deal on this UTV. Can share, like, I know nothing about this area yet, but I'm gonna explore. You're gonna explore with me. We're all gonna find out together. We're gonna have a lot of fun exploring southern Utah. We've got desert, greenery with some water, a little bit of greenery and red rock. Let's go snow-capped cliffs. Like, I mean, come on. That was relaxing. Looks like we have a recovery situation down in what looks like, I believe that's Nasty Hell. And then there's like Mills something. There's another trail that goes there, but the Jeep is in a gnarly spot, like basically sideways. And so these guys are gonna call. They just called Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and I am right here, across from the canyon, and see if they need any help. We might be seeing a real-life Matt's Off-Road Recovery happen, and this looks like a pretty gnarly one. So they're attempting to get out of the position they're in while, I guess, the recovery folks come back. This is what people do out here in Utah. There's not a good path for me to get across and then, well, get across safely for one, and then come back. They're trying to figure out what they need to do in order to get the Jeep unstuck. They've also called Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and somebody from there told them that they'll get an email back. It's getting late. I gotta get off the mountain. They said that they're okay, and yeah, so we're gonna be on our way. It is now properly dark, filming the low light mode for the camera. I've got the Razor parked right here. They told me I could just leave it here overnight. I have an early morning tour. We've got Bernard right here. Moved all the stuff over. Gonna get in this thing, head over, try to close out for the night. In the morning, I've got a few things to do. 6 a.m. I gotta go grab some ratchet straps from Walmart so I can have my stuff in the back because I'll have another rider. Won't be able to use the passenger seat for picnic storage, etc., etc. And yeah, gotta get here by 7, load up the ATV, secure everything, and head on over and meet the tour guide by 8:30. So yeah, it's been fun showing you guys all the activities today. So much more fun to come on the next day of the trip. Can't wait to share all with you. See you tomorrow.